Am I good? Okay, there I am. All right, good morning. We will begin our service with the ringing of the temple bell. At this time, please silence your cell phones and listen quietly as the sounding of the concho is an invitation to settle our hearts and minds as we prepare to receive the Dharma. Thank you.
Namandam, 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 namandam.
Well, welcome everyone to this morning's special service, and a very warm aloha to Dr. Warren Tamamoto for being our guest speaker today. Although a week early, today we celebrate all the fathers of the world. When we celebrated Mother's Day and Children's Day last month, it was mentioned that without moms, there would be no children, and vice versa. Well, today we honor the very important third party because without dads, there would be no children or moms. Fathers, mothers, and children are a wonderful example of the interconnectedness that exists in this world. I am Hetty Casquello Gray, and I will serve as your MC. Assisting at the temple with technical support are Zoom crew members, Alan Matsumoto, Joey Guzman, and Steve Kaneko. Corinne Chong is our organist, and Betty Takioka will lead the singing. Let us start the service by rising for the Vandana and Tisarana, led by Reverend Blaine. Please chant both the Pali and the English parts together with him. Those of you on Zoom, be sure you have muted your mics.
Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Please remain standing for an aspiration which will be shared by Reverend Wayne.
Please join me in Gasho. We gather this morning as friends in the Dharma, as fellow travelers along the journey of life. Today we honor and offer gratitude to our fathers in whatever form or fashion they come into our lives. Biological fathers, stepfathers, adoptive and foster fathers, grandfathers, spiritual fathers, and all the uncles, brothers, and friends who, wherever they know it or not, have helped to fill the role of a father in someone's life. We are profoundly grateful for the love, support, and encouragement they have shared with us, and we seek to share these gifts with others. With joyful hearts, we reflect on the words of Shinran Shonin from the hymns of the Pure Land Masters. Shakyamuni and Amida are our father and mother, full of love and compassion for us, guiding us through various skillful means. They bring us to awaken the supreme Shinjin. May we always take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows us the way in this life, the Dharma, the way of understanding and love, and the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. Entrusting in the Buddha of all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion, we call Amida's name in profound gratitude, abiding joy, and a heart-centered awareness for the miracle of living. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu.
Please be seated. We will now have the offering of incense. We invite all Sangha members in attendance to please come up and offer incense if you wish, starting with the front rows and moving towards the back. Please use both incense burners. Let us now observe a moment of silent meditation.
Namandab, 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 namandab.
Reverend Blaine will now lead us in chanting the sutra, verses reaffirming the vows. Words can be found on page 117 in the Jodo Shinshu service book and on the screen. Again, page 117.
The Buddha of infinite light and life made vows to embrace all beings equally without exception. These vows promise to create a perfect world where no suffering or evil exists and guides us to supreme awakening. The Jusei or verses reaffirming the vows, is a poetic summary of the basic intention of the 48 vows made by Amida Buddha to attain supreme enlightenment, to save all who are suffering, and to declare universal liberation through the name, Namo Amida Butsu. We chant the words of the Buddha as a reminder of these great vows of compassion made to liberate and to awaken all beings. The verses reaffirming the vows. I have made unrivaled vows and will reach the highest path. If I fail in any way, may I not attain Buddhahood. Should I not provide to all for countless kalpas to come, aid in times of suffering, may I not attain Buddhahood. I will reach enlightenment, but unless my Buddha name resounds throughout the universe, may I not attain Buddhahood. I will practice the noble path, wisely, mindfully, free of greed, seek to reach the supreme way, be a guide to one and all. May my power shine great light to illumine and dispel the darkness of the three poisons and save all from suffering. With eyes of wisdom I'll remove the darkness of ignorance. I will close all evil paths, open gates of highest good. When I attain Buddhahood, light will shine throughout all lands, light brighter than sun and moon, outshining all heavenly lights, giving my virtues to all, not forsaking anyone. I will proclaim the Dharma like the roar of a great lion, bowing before all Buddhas, steadfastly gaining virtues, with wisdom fulfilling my vows. I shall be a guide to all, like the wisdom of my teacher. May my wisdom also shine all throughout the I shall fulfill these vows. May all lands tremble with joy. From the heavens wondrous flowers rain down upon all the lands. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namandab, 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 namandab.
Please rise for the Gatha, a special place. Words can be found in the handouts and on the screen.
There is a square upon the floor, an island in a sea, a place I visit every week, a spot that's just for me. When I sit upon that square, I leave my cares outside. All anger is forgotten. The Dharma is my guide. There is a special something here. It's something you can see. For kindness lives within this place. It lives inside of me. Amida stands inside the shrine, a smile upon his face. I smile right back. I'm glad to be here in this special place. Now there's time to sit and think of all that I can do to care for those around me each day the whole week through. This is a home to gentle thoughts when sitting quietly. For kindness lives within this place. It lives inside of me. It lives inside
be seated. Today I'm happy to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Warren Tamamoto, President of the Honpa Hongwanji Mission of Hawaii. Dr. Tamamoto is a Big Island boy, born in Laupahoehoe in 1951. He received a Bachelor of Science degree at the University of Hawaii at Manoa in 1973, followed by obtaining his Doctor of Medicine from the John A. Burns School of Medicine. He then went on to the William Beaumont Army Medical Center in Texas for internal medicine residency, and then to Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C. for pulmonary disease fellowship in 1982. He is board certified by the National Board of Medical Examiners, American Board of Internal Medicine with subspecialty in pulmonary disease, as well as in critical care medicine. Dr. Tamamoto has spent his professional career practicing and chairing various positions concerning pulmonary medicine and critical care with Tripler Army Medical Center, Kaiser Foundation Hospital, and Kaiser Permanente Hawaii. He has been honored with one of the Best Doctors in Hawaii Awards from 2002 to 2020, and as a Hawaii Healthcare Hero by the Healthcare Association of Hawaii in 2015. Dr. Tamamoto also served in the military in the U.S. Army Medical Corps from 1977 to 1988, and in the U.S. Army Reserve from 1988 to 2001. He is a retired colonel in the USAR and a recipient of the Army Commendation Medal and Meritorious Service Medal. Within the Hongwanji community, Dr. Tamamoto has served in numerous leadership capacities of the Honpa Hongwanji Mission of Hawaii Board of Directors, Hawaii State Federation of Lay Associations, Oahu Hongwanji Council, United Lay Association of Oahu, and the Pacific Buddhist Academy Board of Trustees. Please give a warm welcoming aloha to Dr. Warren Tamamoto.
Thank you. You didn't have to read all that. Let's see. Yeah, I wasn't sure I'll be able to see what's on the screen. So I guess I got to do two things. I'm gonna advance this if I can, with Joe's assistance, and if not, we'll figure it out together. And if I go over 20 minutes, and Joe will stand up, or Alan, and wave your arms, and we'll be done. Okay, so yeah, so let's go. So anyway, thank you. When Reverend Higa first invited me, he offered a choice of Father's Day or Grandparents' Day, and actually I should have chosen Grandparents' Day, because for two reasons. One is Grandparents' Day is in September, and I would have more time to do nothing. And the other is, in Father's Day, then I'd have to talk about my dad. And to this day, when I share stories about him, I sometimes get choked up, even now. So anyway, fair warning, and so please excuse me if I have to pause at times. So since it's a Father's Day service, so let me share a little bit about my dad, which is, oops. My dad was born in Laupahoehoe in 1923, sugar plantation town. His parents, Rokuichi and Ito Hirafuji Tamamoto, immigrated from Hiroshima in the early 1900s to work on a plantation. Obachan was a picture bride and 16 years younger than Oji-chan. And the story is that she actually came as a picture bride for someone else. But that person didn't want to go and sent Oji-chan, he was unmarried and older, to go and talk to her. And he said, well, this person is not showing up, but if you'll accept me, then I'll be your husband, something like that. And so they were married. And they had 11 children together. Dad was, I know you can't read this, but Dad was the fifth born and third oldest boy of 11 children. There were 5 boys and 6 girls. One brother died soon after birth. Younger brother Mitsuji died in the 1946 tsunami that hit Hilo and Lapuohoi. Dad started working the sugar cane fields at the age of 12. So he was always broad and had hands and arms, shoulders like a laborer. I'm sorry, but now I'm okay. I'm sorry. So this is a little bit. I know you may not read it, but a little bit about our family history, and the 11 children that they had. Dad's older brother was Jimmy and younger brother Ricky. Dad went to Kapeho School, then later Lapuohoi High School, which you might know was down at the Lapuohoi Point in the early years. But as a senior in December 1941, Pearl Harbor was attacked by Japan and school was canceled. So sometime later, I believe in 1942, they were called back to school, the seniors were, and given their diplomas. So Dad worked for the plantation. He was trained as a machinist in the sugar mill, and the sugar mills in those days repaired most of their own equipment. So there were giant band saws, drill presses, metal lathes that could cut through steel. So Dad operated all of the heavy machine tools, and as a side benefit, he made household items. So he kind of became a self-trained carpenter, crafting buffet cabinet and a stereo cabinet, which we still have and use. He made pot handles. When the ceramic handles broke off, he made them out of stainless steel. So by the time we were teenagers, Dad was a mill supervisor. So my brother and I, on the weekends, could accompany my dad to the mill. He would, when the mill was closed on the weekends, he would drive down to check out the place once or twice just to be sure nothing bad was going on. We could jump in the back of the company pickup truck and ride down to check out the mill. Let's see. And I'm sorry, I'm so wonderful family memories at the time include fishing overnight down at Lapuohoi Point, day trips to volcano whenever the volcano was erupting, in Mauna Kea when it was covered with snow. Those of you, born and raised in Kona would, I'm sure, have the same type of memories. Little League baseball games, very good times. This is Lapuohoi Point. I know it doesn't look too much. These aren't the best photos, but many days were spent here at the beach, either fishing or swimming. Well, one couple of reasons why I'm so proud of my dad. When we were young, elementary school, he was hard on us, especially my younger brother Owen and I. In those days, you heard the term, you're going to get lickings, and wait till your father gets home. Well, when she said you're going to get lickings, it was a real thing for the. These days, by today's standards, you might be calling the social worker, let's just say. By the standards of the day, maybe nothing too unusual, although I still think maybe we had a little bit harder than most, my brother and I. We have a younger brother, 9 years younger than us. Never had a licking in his life. Anyway, but he was kind of a tough guy, drank, he smoked, had a temper, pretty much like many other dads when we gathered for community parties. Wait, that sounds like me, except for the smoking. I never smoked. But as we got older, Dad changed over time. He quit smoking, rarely drank or occasionally drank, no more lickings. We never discussed it. But somehow he just didn't want to be that way. So he changed. So over the years, he was transformed into the person that all of his grandchildren knew and loved. My oldest granddaughter, Kathy, once remarked, "Grandpa Haru, he's so calm, patient, and happy. He's so nice to everyone." So actually, I did tell her that Grandpa Haru, he was a different person when we were younger. He changed. As a father myself, I hope my children will have the same or similar feelings toward me when I am gone. As a grandfather, I definitely try to model my behavior after my dad. I show you this picture because just a reminder of impermanence. So this is not the entire family, but this was taken in May of 2015. And September he passed. My second dad story was published by Lee Cataluna in a column in the Honolulu Advertiser some years ago, maybe 12, 13 years ago. Dad was drafted into the U.S. Army. Sorry. Dad was drafted into the U.S. Army in 1944. After induction into the Army, he was put on board a troop transport to San Francisco from Honolulu. The man in the bunk above him was from Kauai. That man was seasick the entire week of the ship's voyage and rarely got out of his bunk. Dad would bring him fruits, snacks, drinks, and whatever he could get. At the end, as they prepared to disembark from the ship in San Francisco, Dad realized that the man was too weak to carry his own duffel bag up the ladder. So Dad shouldered 2 duffel bags up to the top deck. On the top deck, he handed the duffel over to this young man from Kauai, and they went their separate ways. This is not Mr. Tanji from Kauai, but that's Dad on the left. Fast forward 33 years when I graduated from medical school. So 1977, Dad and Mom flew to Honolulu to attend the ceremony. Before the ceremony started, my younger brother Owen approached them. He wanted to introduce Mom and Dad to his girlfriend Jan and her parents. So Dad said he didn't know he had a girlfriend. He didn't know he was going to be introduced to her parents. But when they were introduced, Dad couldn't believe his eyes. He said, "Hey, you the guy I fed on the troop ship on the way to the mainland." And Mr. Bill Tanji said, "You the guy who fed me?" "Yes," Dad said, "I never forgot you all these years." They shook hands and held on for a long time. Again, sorry, this is Dad, but so not long after that, my brother Owen and Jan were married, and the Tanji and Tamamoto families were united. Dad's closing line to this episode was, "Lesson learned, always be nice to people, whoever they are." Happy Father's Day, Dad. Thank you for these important life lessons and many more. So I'd like to just share this little cartoon with you in case you can't read it. It starts at the upper left. It says, "When I was your age, all my heroes were cowboys. Hopalong Cassidy, Red Ryder, Roy Rogers, the Lone Ranger, Gene Autry." Some of you remember them. "Now they're all gone." "Who are your heroes now?" the boy asks. "Anyone who shows kindness and compassion to others." So those are my dad's stories. Then Reverend Blaine said, maybe how would you like to talk about how does Jodo Shinshu teaching work in your life? How does it cultivate joy for living and meet life's challenges. So my only answer to that is that my Nembutsu journey is a work in progress. And probably you would get a better answer over a beer or a cup of coffee. So I think instead of, but so I won't, I mean, I will talk about my Nembutsu journey, but maybe in a little bit different way than what I had originally started. So let me just share this, first of all, share this cartoon with you. It's called Brewster Rocket, and I know you can't read it, but let me read to you what it says. In the top left, and it goes across and then down. It says, "So Brewster, we should arrive at Titan soon." And Brewster says, "What's the hurry? Just enjoy the scenery. No one takes the time to smell the roses, to savor the moment. It's the journey that matters in life, not the destination." And then there's an empty, and she's thinking, and then she says, "We're lost, aren't we?" And he says, "Big time." So, this is kind of like all of us maybe at some time or other, we're a little bit lost or a little bit we're searching. So instead of giving a whole list of what I think is my journey, let me just share with you one, I guess what I'll call is a Nembutsu moment, or Nembutsu episode maybe. And that for me was Uncle Jimmy's eulogy. Because Uncle Jimmy was Dad's older brother, and when he passed away in Honolulu, I was asked to deliver a eulogy for the family. I wasn't super close to Uncle Jimmy, but maybe because by that time I was a college graduate and physician. And I remember Uncle Jimmy as a cane truck driver for the Lapoihoi Sugar Company. So he would drive by, we'd be out on the road, and he'd wave at us or he'd toot his horn. And that's how I remember him. So I prepared a eulogy, and I was as comfortable as I can be. Just before the service started, a couple of aunties turned around to talk to me. Auntie Satono wanted to tell me, "Did you know that Uncle Jimmy was a really good student? When he finished intermediate school, he went to work for the plantation to help support the family. As the oldest son, that was duty to the family." Auntie Satono said the school principal came to the house to speak to Tamamoto Oji-chan to ask him to please allow Uncle Jimmy to finish high school because he was a good student. He would have better opportunities with a high school diploma. But Oji-chan said, "No, Uncle Jimmy has to work to help support the family." So Uncle Jimmy went to work at age 14 or 15, became a cane truck driver. And I'm sorry, is that what it's showing on there? Yeah, okay. So my thinking and hearing this, just before I gave the eulogy was, wow, that could be me. I am the oldest son. That could have been me having to go to work to support the family, but because I'm in a different generation, I'm so fortunate. My parents could encourage me to go to school. I didn't have to go to work to support the family. So because of causes and conditions, I had opportunity. Uncle Jimmy didn't. I'm fortunate that my grandparents came to Hawaii and had incredible hardship, and that I grew up in a wonderful community, wonderful family setting, and attended a great public school, Lapoihoi High School, and public university. Anybody else here from Lapoihoi? No. Anyway, I would say growing up, it was almost like Kona was a different island. We didn't really, yeah, it was so far, but anyway. So I know that I've always been appreciative of opportunities that I've had in high school, at Lapoihoi, going to enrichment classes in math and science that my teacher encouraged, and etc. Fortunate to be accepted into medical school and go to the Johnny Burns School of Medicine. But getting back to Uncle Jimmy, getting back. Okay, I hope I'm saying, the story about Uncle Jimmy triggered such strong emotions in me that, I had trouble delivering the eulogy. But in retrospect, why did I have such strong emotions? Mostly because I was thinking about myself. Yeah, how fortunate. So, so I was grateful, but the interesting thing is, I knew that my mother um, left school at 14 to go to barber school to help her family. I never, I never had that strong emotion, but because Uncle Jimmy was the first son and I was the first son, it's like, wow, it could be me. So anyway, we're always thinking about ourselves. I'm always thinking about me. And, I guess I thought maybe this is why you invited me here today, to remind me, how self-centered I am. But I'm constantly reminded of my Bonbu nature. Let me just share this. If you choose to see the world through grateful eyes, it will never look the same way again. And let me, sorry, let me just share one more story with you. This is shared with us by Reverend Eric recently, and just a little bit about Nembutsu journey, because he shared with us this story of Shoma, a devout Jodo Shinshu Buddhist. A man traveled a long distance to ask Shoma about Jodo Shinshu and Amida Buddha. And he kept asking Shoma questions, but Shoma did not answer him. So finally he was about to give up, but Shoma then finally said, if you are that desperate to find the answer, stop asking me and directly ask Amida Buddha. Amida Buddha has the answer. And so this is from Reverend Eric. The dialogue that needs to take place is between each individual and Amida Buddha. The teacher or friend or minister is a guide, like a finger pointing at the moon. So please look at the moon. The minister guides you to the office of Amida Buddha. Speak personally and directly to Amida Buddha. And he encouraged us to encounter the Nembutsu Dharma in as many ways as possible. Read or listen to a broadcast, go to the internet, and immerse yourself in the Dharma. And listen or search until there is no need to listen and search, until you find your answer. And shared with us this poem, that music heard so deeply that it is not heard at all, but you are the music while the music lasts. So, just to be clear, I'm not sure I've had a conversation with the Buddha. Of course, I've listened to many Dharma talks. In terms of my life, gratitude for the many causes and conditions that brought me here today. Life has ups and downs. We've had our ups and downs as a family. I know that I'm imperfect and will always be, but Buddha is here with me and actually here with all of us. So I'll share in closing, let me just share this cartoon with you. I found this cartoon, I was on a hiking trip with some friends, fellow physicians actually, and I came across this cartoon. I thought it was so appropriate. It says, which is more important, asked Big Panda, the journey or the destination? The company, said Tiny Dragon. So in turn, it is very fitting for today, because the company is, yes, all of us here in this room, but the company is also Shinran and Amida. Company includes Shinran and Amida Buddha. So this is what I'll think about whenever I look at this cartoon. Thank you. Namo Amida.
Thank you for your message, Dr. Tamamoto. Let's see. Dharma School student Taylor Nishihara will now lead us in the unison reading of the Golden Chain of Love. Words can be found on the laminated sheet in the back of the pews and on the screen.
Golden chain of love. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle with every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you, Taylor. We will now have the offertory presentation by Kendra Nishihara, Taylor's twin sister. Mahalo, everyone, for your generous contributions. Please rise as we will conclude this service with the singing of the Gata Nembutsu.
Namandab, 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 namandab.
You may be seated. This concludes today's service. Here are some announcements. Upcoming schedule of services, events, and reminders. This Saturday, June 15th, please join us at the exciting Oban Festival, which is the kickoff to the 2024 Oban season. The event will be held at Maka'eo Pavilion at the Old Airport from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. There will be food trucks, craft booths, games for the kids, taiko performances, and of course, Bon Odori dancing. So come on down and have a great time. Reminder, there will be no service next Sunday, June 16, because many of us will be in recovery mode from the Oban Festival held the night before. Sunday, June 23rd, regular Dharma family services will be held at 10 a.m. Reverend Blaine will share a Dharma message. Saturday, June 29, big news, please support the benefit concert for Kona Hongwanji by purchasing tickets for the South Kona Summer Jam with the well-known Makaha Sons, and featuring Kenny Tagavia. Doors open at 4:30 p.m. with the concert starting at 5 o'clock p.m. right here at Konahangwanji Social Hall. Presale tickets are $45, tickets at the door are $55. Please help to spread the word for this temple fundraiser. Seating is limited, so don't miss out, and please purchase your tickets soon by calling the church office. There will be no Sunday service on June 30th. Bond dance practices will be held at 7:30 p.m. Monday, June 10th, and Thursday, June 13th. Following a 3-week break, practice will resume every Monday and Thursday from July 8th until the 25th at 7:30 p.m. Any other announcements, Reverend Blaine or anyone else?
Oh, just a clarification, the concert is on Sunday, June 30th. Sunday, June 30th, 5 p.m. So, and then also, just a heads up, our Temple Bon Dance will be the end of July, so July 27th, Saturday. So please plan to join us on that Saturday for our Bon Dance here at the temple. So.
Does anyone else have any announcements? Okay. Those of you on Zoom, you may leave at any time. Those of you here in person, refreshments will be served in the conference room. Mahalo to Myrna Kunihiro and Betty Takioka for providing the goodies. Again, thank you to Dr. Tamamoto for sharing a Dharma message with us today, and to all the dads, an early happy Father's Day. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you at future services as well as at the Oban Festival and Benefit Concert coming up this month.
Naman dapat, naman.